Welcome to the fifth video of the Business Management Unit 2 Area of Study 1 summary about communication in business. In this one we're going to look at the difference between formal and informal communication. So we've looked at so far the three-step communication process. We've looked at different types of communication and verbal and non-verbal communication and how to make communication effective. We also need to think about how serious is a message that's being sent and what sort of control a business has over it. So this is categorized into three main levels of formality of a communication. There's very formal communication channels. So these are things that the business has full control over. I'm having trouble writing this. Formal communication. We also have semi-formal communication, semi-formal channels, and finally we have informal channels. Formal, semi-formal, and informal. So formal channels are official channels of a business. So these are things that the business has control over this communication system. This is things like reports, minutes of meetings, announcements on notice boards, receipts, and financial records. So it's important. So the business has full control. And there's also usually, most commonly, a record of the communication as well. And there's usually some sort of approval from that as well. Semi-formal communication is along similar lines in the same channels, but it's not entirely under management control. So minutes taken in a meeting, while somebody's in the meeting writing those minutes down, so that's the minutes of record of what's happened during the meeting, the minutes aren't actually formal communication yet until they're published and sent out to everyone who attended the meeting. You could have, during a meeting or a seminar, you might have asked questions as well. So questions during a meeting that aren't recorded, they're semi-formal because they occur. A lot of people know about them. They're within a work setting, but they're not fully formal in a formal channel. Informal is anything that's outside management control. So any little verbal conversations that people have within an organization over a coffee or in the corridor, that'd be considered informal communication. And as I mentioned, outside management control, it's also that they are this informal. There's no record, often no record of it as well. Sorry about that. Just figuring what the second point was there. So there's no record of the comms. Now, a business can have a bit of trouble if they don't try and maintain a bit of control over their informal channels, or at least aware of the ones that exist. Because if people think about things like rumours in an organisation, such as people might be getting fired or something like that, the informal communication channels can really hurt that message from the business. Now, we've now entirely covered chapter 13 of the textbook, and in the next section we're going to be moving on to barriers to communication.